Allergy and hypersensitivity. The objectives of this class are to definition of allergy, anaphylaxis, mechanism of mast cell sensitization and degranulation, list of the primary and secondary mediators, examples of the allergy mediated reactions, brief overview of type 2, type 3 and type 4 hypersensitivity reactions with common examples. Now, hypersensitivity reactions are of 4 types: type 1 hypersensitivity or anaphylaxis. In fact, the systemic manifestations of this type 1 hypersensitivity reaction are called anaphylactic reactions. Type 2 hypersensitivity, type 3 hypersensitivity and type 4 hypersensitivity. Allergens are the agents that triggered an IgE specific response. They are small, highly soluble proteins that are carried on dry particles and typically enter the body at low doses. By diffusion across mucosal surface, that triggers a T helper 2 response. Allergy is a disease following a response by the immune system to otherwise innocuous agent. This term is frequently used to indicate IgE-mediated reactions. So allergy could be due to the antigen, it could be due to an innocuous agent, and the response is IgE production. Hypersensitivity reactions are mediated by immunological mechanisms leading to the tissue damage. This is a general mechanism underlying type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Now the allergens, they come and they bind to the B cell. This B cell is converted into a plasma cell. This plasma cell starts producing the immunoglobulins E. The immunoglobulins E finally go and bind to the mast cells. Now these mast cells could be basophils in the circulation, or they may be present in the mucous membrane, in the skin, in the lungs. Now, once due to the exposure of the allergen, the IgEs that have been produced, they go and they sensitize the mast cells. So the sensitization of the mast cell means that the immunoglobulin E has been fixed on their surface through the Fc fragment of an antibody molecule. Now when there is a second exposure to the same allergen, these sensitized cells to which the Ig molecule has already been attached, they start releasing their contents. This process is known as the degranulation. Now this degranulation releases having some mediators. These mediators could be vasoactive amines, it could be cytokines, it could be interleukins, it could be tryptases, it could be platelet activating factor, but the most important is the histamine. Now, once this histamine is released due to the degranulation, the target tissue could be a smooth cell, it could be a blood vessel, it could be a mucus gland, it could be platelets, it could be sensory nerve endings, and it could be the eosinophils. So the clinical features of the allergy could be smooth muscle cell contraction. This smooth muscle cell contraction could be seen in the smooth muscles of the bronchi and the respiratory tract. But the effect of the histamine on the small blood vessels and the smooth muscle of the blood vessel is there it produces dilatation. So the blood vessels could dilate, or their porosity of the blood vessels could increase. So there could be a shifting of the intravascular fluid to the extravascular tissues, resulting in the localized edema or the generalized edema. There could be overproduction of the mucus glands. There could be feeling of itching due to the irritation of the sensory nerve endings. There could be eosinophil chemotaxis to the site of the injury. Let us review the preformed mediators. As I told you, the histamine is one well-known mediator, and this mediator acts on histamine 1 and histamine 2 receptors. The histamine 1 receptors and the histamine 2 receptors, they are bound by the histamine, where they could cause the contraction of the smooth muscles of the airway, the GIT tract, increased vascular permeability, vasodilation, increased mucus production, pruritus due to the irritation of the sensory nerve endings, cutaneous vasodilation, and gastric acid secretion. Here I would remind you that the production of the gastric acid secretion is due to the action of histamine on H2 receptor. All other effects are mediated via H1 receptor effect. And there is another mediator which is called as the tryptase. Now this tryptase cleaves the C3 and C3A components of the complement system. There are proteoglycans, include heparin and chondroitin sulfate. Chemotactic factors cause the chemotaxis of the WBC. There are secondary mediators, platelet activating factors, leukotrienes, prostaglandins, bradykines, cytokines, interleukins, and so on. So they form the allergic inflammatory soup, and most of the effect that is due to the secondary mediators is a response or the altered allergy response, to which we also call as the allergy. IgE mediated reactions can have multiple effects. IgE mediated allergic reactions could be in the form of systemic anaphylaxis. I have already told you that the anaphylaxis means a systemic response to the production of the histamine. And the common allergens could be drugs, serums, venoms, and peanuts. The route of entry could be intravenous or following an oral absorption into the blood. Response: edema due to the increased vascular permeability, tracheal occlusion due to the increased mucus production, and contraction of the smooth muscle in the respiratory system, circulatory prolapse, fall of blood pressure, leading to shock and death. Now, circulatory collapse could be due to the vasodilatation, generalized vasodilatation, and shifting of the fluid from the intravascular compartment to the extravascular compartment. Acute urticaria. The common allergens could be animal hair, insect bites, and allergy testing. The route of the entry is through skin. You might have experienced an insect bite. There is a local increase in blood flow, giving you a reddish patch. The local swelling of the skin and the local edema of the skin also due to the increased vascular permeability. Allergic rhinitis. The route of the entry of the allergen is inhalation. It could be due to the pollens, it could be due to the ragweed, dust mite, feces. The reason could be edema of the nasal mucosa, irritation of the nasal mucosa, asthma. The allergens would be danders, pollens, and dust mite feces. Route of entry is inhalation. Bronchial constriction due to the contraction of the smooth muscle of the bronchial tree. Increased mucus production, airway inflammation, airway obstruction. That's why it gives you a choking sensation in the chest. Food allergy. Common allergens could be peanuts, milk, eggs, fish. The route of the entry is oral. Response could be in the form of vomiting, diarrhea, itching or pruritus of the skin, and very rarely anaphylactic shock resulting in death of the person. Now, the type 2 hypersensitivity is due to the immunoglobulin G mediated cytotoxic hypersensitivity. Here, the antibody directed against the cell surface antigens mediates cell destruction. Typical manifestations include blood transfusion reactions, erythroblastosis fetalis, and autoimmune hemolytic anemia. So the type 1 hypersensitivity is due to the production of the immunoglobulin E. Type 2 hypersensitivity is mediated by the IgG, and it is cytotoxic. Antibodies are directed against cell surface antigens. The typical manifestations include the blood transfusion reactions, because if you remember, the antigens for the RBC or the blood grouping are sitting on the surface of the RBC. Type 3 hypersensitivity is immune complex mediated hypersensitivity. Antigen antibody complexes are deposited in various tissues, induce complement activation, and ensuing inflammatory response mediated by massive infiltration of the neutrophils. Typical manifestations include localized Arthur's reaction and generalized reactions such as serum sickness, rheumatoid arthritis, glomerulonephritis. These are all the examples of the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction, and this is a immune complex, that is the antigen and antibody complexes are mediated reaction. Type 4 hypersensitivity reactions are mediated by antigen specific effector T cells. So in this type of the reaction, the effector T cells, which are antigen specific, they produce the hypersensitivity. Now the syndrome could be a delayed type of hypersensitivity. Antigens would be proteins, insect venoms, mycobacterial proteins. Mycobacterial proteins or the tuberculous proteins. So remember that the tuberculosis is a delayed type of hypersensitivity reaction. The consequences could be local skin swelling, erythema, induration, cellular infiltrate, and dermatitis. Contact hypersensitivity, it could be due to the chemicals and small metals. It might produce a local epidermal reaction, erythema, cellular infiltrate, vesicles, and intraepidermal abscesses. Celiac disease or the gluten sensitive enteropathy. Antigen is gliadin. The consequence could be villus atrophy in a small bowel. It could result in the malabsorption. How to suppress type 1 hypersensitivity? Avoid or eliminate the allergen, block antibody, prevent mediators synthesis, prevent mediators release, antagonize mediators, reverse and prevent effects of the mediators by the drugs. These are some of the mechanisms to suppress the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. First of all, you identify allergen and try to avoid it and eliminate it. Then you use the blocking antibody. You can prevent the synthesis of the mediators in the mast cells. You can prevent the release of the mediators from the mast cells, or in other way you can say that you can prevent the degranulation of the mast cells, the basophils and the mast cells in other tissues. Then you can antagonize the mediators by using the drugs. And last of all, that avoid pollution, because healthy environment is friendly. Thank you.